By that first day of school, you'll be able to understand and explain to your friends what exactly this means. But here's one formula that if you have memorized before that first day of calculus, you'll be at an advantage compared to the rest of your peers, all right? The most important phrase that I want you to memorize is called instant slope. So what does that mean? The main concept in calculus is slope. It's just y equals mx plus b, that m, rise over run. What we need to know is that that word instant changes that run and makes it as close to 0 as possible. You may have a value of x, and with that is f of x. If I add a number, so let's say if I add 3, we're just going to represent that as an h here. That new value is going to be x plus h over here, which means if I plug that into the same function, that will be f of x plus h. All right? To memorize this graph, it's really not that hard if you look at it. This value of h is what will help us find and figure out that instant situation. And now what we can use are m is equal to rise over run. All right? So what we have here is a rise, and what we have here is a run. M, our slope, is equal to rise over run. Rise is this guy minus this guy. Just do it here. F of x plus h minus the second one. That is going to be over the run, happens to be h. First week, they're actually going to teach you what's called continuity and limits. Continuity just means that the graph doesn't have any breaks in it. Limits is a question of what numbers am I going to approach? What numbers is this function going to eventually end up at? We need to use limits simply because we actually can't put that number into it. See, for example, if I want instant slope, and this run over here, this is going to be as close to 0 as possible, okay? And so that's where our limit function comes in. We need to take this rise over run function, and we need to make sure that we add the word instant. I'm going to rewrite that slope function. To make that instant, what we do is we create a limit as h approaches 0, as this h becomes 0. Now we've learned in math that it's not possible for us to divide by 0. So for all of calculus A, this is the main function that you need to understand how it works, because everything that calculates a derivative comes back to this. Now, by giving you this function that you can practice by that first day of school, you'll be able to understand and explain to your friends what exactly this means. Memorize this equation: instant slope. The limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. If you still don't understand how this works, let me know. This is Eric here at Exclusive Tutoring San Diego. Let's make sure you guys have the materials ready to succeed this upcoming year.